Emmitt Brown.
My name is Emmitt.
And we're the owners of Groom Time here at 924 East Hope, Pomona. And we were just having a panel of guys back here with us. And we were going to have a few conversations about, one was...
We'd like to talk about how children now just do not respect marriage. Marriage does not have the same tone or undertones that it had in the past. Simply because of us, adults, how we treated marriage. Marriage is only about a 50% chance it's going to make it. So as we see our youth don't have the same appeal to marriage that we were taught.
Right, and that's... I want to expand on that because I was thinking, because when you said 50-50 marriages break up, it's because they don't have a good role model to look at, so they don't have any value in it,
So role models are one thing. We see a lot of role models out there, but it's not just role models. They see a lot of just dysfunction in marriage, and you see where they see their parents breaking up over all these different things. One thing could be money, it could be infidelity, it could be they grew apart with distance of just the way their personalities were. Just a lot of things that causes these marriages to break up. So children, they're acting different to marriage. Marriage doesn't hold the value to them as it did in the past.
Right. To you, what are some of the values?
Well, there's a lot of value to marriage. You grow old with somebody, you find a path, and you grow exponentially with somebody. Twofold instead of one. There's a lot of religious, spiritual, and biblical aspects to marriage that you find the right union. There's a lot of benefits to marriage when you take upon this situation right. How do you guys feel about marriage? What do you feel about marriage, Vic?
Marriage is great. It's a 50-50 partnership. Compromise. You got to compromise in the game. So it's marriage is good. I've been married for 23 years, so I've been in the game.
But what do you value about it?
Well, I value the commitment. I value the friendship. I value I value each other's opinions, man. You know what I'm saying? I value my wife's opinion. She values mine. It's tough. It's a compromise.
It's tough.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
And you a newlywed, so...
Yes, it's tough. It's rough.
It's rough.
Yes.
I'm the worst.
I would say, well, shit, I've been married too much. I've been married for 11 years. I can truly say, man, it's challenges like every day. We don't always agree on a lot of things. A lot of things we do agree on. We don't always get along all the time. Then a lot of times we do get along. So it's kind of give and take, And then sometimes, in a marriage, from what I have experienced so far, on those short marriages, is that, man, you gotta listen. You gotta listen to each one. Just as well as I want you to hear me, I have to hear her too.
But do you value it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But the only way you can get any kind of value out of your relationship, out of your marriage, is you gotta kind of come together as one and understanding with everything. So it's like we agree to disagree on something. You're never gonna go across the board where it's all hunky-dory and it's all good. That's just not realistic. That's not reality. So what I learned is just, sometimes, and then sometimes just let it go. Let it go. Whatever
So what are the kids saying? What are the kids saying? It just sounded real good right now. Everybody just sounded real good right now.
But kids,
so if it was that good, if we all got that mindset, then why are the kids still not doing it? Are the younger, the youth, the 20s, 30s, I would say?
They don't believe it, so they don't believe it.
But you guys just gave examples like it was.
A lot got to do with how they being taught in school, stuff that they're teaching in school. I won't get into all specifics, but it changes the kids. How can I put it? I guess I'm probably say where they think see things in a different aspect because of the tools that they're giving them.
Well,
I wouldn't even.
For me,
I would say kids now look at just marriage, not marriage, they want family. Because they're more put into a situation where kids are being thrusted into family situations that in our generation we would call odd, we would call awkward, we would call different. But now these kids are being thrusted or being born into or put into relationships that are more called family. So it could be a homosexual type family, or it could be just a father and a mother, and they don't get married, and the kids know it. It could be my mother lives here, and I have a stepfather, but my father might live somewhere else, and I have two fathers. Now kids look at the whole gamut as family.
No fathers.
Some have no fathers. Exactly. So, I mean, there's a lot of dysfunction within the family. So they are just grabbing on to whatever family they can. That's what they call it. Instead of creating a family. So
I think the situation is adjusting, because I come from a family where it's just my mom, single household type family. And sir, I'm married now. I'm in a relationship now. I've been married for about 5 years. I've been my wife for about 12 or so. But it's just a lot of things that I've learned that I didn't see growing up. So it's hard to kind of make the transition. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning. To be honest with you, I'm 35 years old. I'm still learning some things, But it's definitely an adjustment that you have to be willing to make. Though a lot of people aren't willing to make that, especially this younger generation. I find, because you got to be open to things. Like I said, I'm a 35-year-old grown man, and I'm still learning.
so how do you make it better from the question? With the kids, like you see how they
gonna get worse?
How do you? What's the fix? Maybe I should say that in your household, because you can't let it be fixed in the streets. So how do you fix it in your household?
Yeah. Got to start
with your kids.
It may not be broken in everybody's household.
I'm not saying it is.
Explain it.
I'm not saying it
Them
is.
two is it's not broken in them just because they family. That's what he's saying. That is not broken. Just mom and granny been together. That's how they do it. That's how mom and nana been there together. 2 or 3 kids, and that's how they do it. And it's not broken to them. It's nothing to fix. They don't need no daddy there to make it a real family. That's just some family already. They know the fathers are sometimes, or the father.
I was fortunate enough to grow up with both of my parents, so I had the upbringing that you're supposed to have. I knew where.
But see, that kind of could be offensive. What you just said, really and truly,
How?
does the kind of supposed to have? If you was to tell somebody from one of these alternative families, that would be real offensive. What you just said, dude. Supposed to, when they gonna say,
It's
well,
not meant to be
I got love.
offensive. It's meant to be
Right.
Make you
aware. Would they feel their household is right also?
Does that make right or wrong? What is right or wrong?
I mean, that's kind of controversial.
Well,
And I get it.
It could be,
I get it.
because there's no way to say, one household is right from the other.
Everybody can have their own way.
Fortunate.
Wait, I'll say this. Everybody can have their own way of raising their kids and creating their family structure.
Right.
I'll say that.
And
For you. I might not, it's not for me to agree or disagree, but you might have your own special way on how you raise your family. That's not saying you're wrong or right.
Absolutely.
It's just saying that's how you raise your family. And for me, you, it's just we all have ways of doing it in our own special way. And hopefully that even in our own special way, it's the right thing.
He gonna hold on to that.
I'm just saying, man, we all want the best for our family.
Right.
So, I don't know, it could be rights and wrongs, but
understand what you're saying.
I'll say this to kind of back that a little bit. I'll say this. I think it's a better foundation to start off with both parents in the household. Yeah, it might not work out the best, but I think it's a good foundation.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was fortunate to have both parents. I got friends,
A lot of people
a lot of friends that
Yeah.
his mother,
yeah.
and his father.
Well, what about these families now where they got two mothers? Or I don't know what they
That's
call
a
it.
fusion.
I don't know what they call it.
Yeah.
They got families that where the
That's
lady is artificially done.
That's some odd shit.
I mean,
No,
I ain't gonna
it's-
get
it's-
That's a subject I probably
That's
don't
their
want to touch
family.
Right.
because a lot of people feel.
You can't say that that's wrong to them. Or that whole community. They got a whole community backing them.
Well, I would never say it's
They got a
wrong.
whole community
I
backing
personally
them.
would never say that it's wrong because there's all types of blended families.
Well, they teach it in school
everybody's able to live a life with
Yeah,
their
they teach it in
choose.
school now.
Well, you have to just respect what they feel.
Exactly. You gotta respect
So they
individuality.
feel what is right.
My
My right might be your wrong. So it happens sometimes. And so I'm not gonna get on you about your beliefs, what you believe in and all that. Hey, to each his own. At the end of the day, if you're comfortable with how you feel and how you see things in life, then go for it.
Yeah. Well, right now we are seeing a lot more of what we call blended families, which is something that's rightfully so, because our society has opened up in a lot of different areas. We have a lot of kids that need you. And raising a child, is raising a child. We need people and adults that would want to get out here and raise these children and put right value system and character traits into these children. We can't be selfish with what our thoughts are about how a family is versus what they are raising. Are they raising a decent family, a decent child? Because right now we have a lot of families that are missing the mark with these children. A lot of families that have monies, that have the things and the tools to raise children, but they're at work and they're not really raising the child. They are basically letting the streets and the internet and the Facebook raise their children, and they don't really even know their child. They know of their child. So we have to know who our children are. We have to know our child. We have to be able to, have a good time with them. It's not always discipline and structure. You gotta be able to blend some different moments with your family and children to bring up these moments so that it's special to have a family. And we all, and I know I can think about, I was raised by a mother and father. And I can think about special moments I had with my family, my mother, my father. I don't know about you guys here, but that meant something to me. Now, then you want to give it back to your children. Yeah. Then you want to give those moments it's special for your children to be able to live with and live through. So, we have a lot of things and negativity going on. We have a lot of anger in our society right now. And we have anger, people don't listen. They don't listen to one another. Like Big Ron was saying here that, even with your wife, other people, friends, our community, we need to listen to one another so that we can be able to mediate. Yeah. Everybody feels that they have their own opinion. Well, really, there's going to be something that's going to be in the middle. Something where we're going to have to mediate. Something where we have to give up a little something or else of what somebody else stands for, and not have such a harsh opinion about somebody else's lifestyle. So, we have a long ways to go as people, to raise our children, to give them the value system.
On this long road that we talk about, do you think they're gonna start valuing marriage more or less?
Well, we have to value the value system.
That's like a step by step.
We have to value the value system, the character traits of value. You know what I mean? So we see a lot of kids right now where money is nothing. They spend on, the designer clothes, the new tennis shoe. So value is at a minimum. Not just of marriage, value in a period. When we see people, young people losing life at such a young age, and that really bothers me, watching our young kids lose life on Instagram and stuff because they don't value life. So we have to start valuing the word value before we give value
To anything.
to marriage.
Yeah.
See, that's where the fencing comes in your household. You have to control, well, I don't want to say control, but you have to talk to your family on a regular basis. It's simple as, you know, if your kids came home, how was your day? What did you do today? How was school? What did the teacher teach today? What activities? It's small conversations like that that mean a lot. So it's like you have a camaraderie in the family. Like it's almost like, I'll say this. When the last time you and your family sat at the dinner table together at dinner time? We eat dinner at a certain time and we eat together.
Wow.
And we discuss what happened on our daily routine out there. When have that happened? Because I can tell you on my end, that's kind of like slimming none. But at least on my end, I talk to my household. We might not sit at the dinner table together, but I do communicate. We do talk about some things. But I say that because that's like the traditional thing you're supposed to do. That's your pastime. When we having dinner and you talk about no cell phones, no none of that. Even when I was growing up, hell, it wasn't no cell phones anyway. It was barely beepers. You know what I'm saying?
Way back.
So back then, it was really like you got a phone call, you had to be at home to get that call.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying, to answer that phone. But I think for the most of us and all of us, everything starts in your home structure. And that passes on to your kids pass it on to their friends. I've had, my kids had friends, and I have had friends that don't have, like they don't have their father. So a lot of the structure they don't have. So when they see what we do on like activities or how we are, how we communicate, how we have real love for each other, and they see the love we have for each other, like damn, it's hard to even hear somebody say, "Man, I love you, man. Come here, man, I love you." And actually, you know, feel that camaraderie with each other. That means a lot, bro.
Do you think that makes people value marriage?
But you say that again?
Do you think that makes people value marriage?
That's kind of like another subject of marriage.
You have to see it.
You would hope
You have to see
that
it.
your upbringing make you value down the line what you're gonna be as your kid is gonna, take over.
But can I say that the kids are seeing it, but they go the opposite route. This generation ain't trying to get married, man.
Because
They're not-
you got
they're
the
not
outside
seeing
world. They see the
outside-
outside world. So
They might not see value in marriage,
and then
right?
pressure break them
They
by.
might not see they don't see the value in marriage because guess what? I can call you wifey. I can play house. Keep y'all. I want
That's
to
what I'm
situation. My own
talking
kid, my daughter. I tell her, man, y'all been together 9 years. I mean, man, what y'all doing with this? Y'all got a kid together. Y'all living together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got these bills.
Together.
Yeah, well, they doing that, trying to get that, but you playing house. And you know, me and your mother been married. We've been married for some years, so you seen.
Not what you seen.
Yeah, you seen us married. What you doing? You going? Why you going a different direction? Because you know what? The person you with don't value marriage. Because sometimes you can have a partner that's like, man, I don't really value marriage. I just like we just wifey and hubby live in the house together, and we just.
So some people settling.
A lot of people settling, Tom.
Maybe they're not settling. Maybe they. Maybe it's just what it is. Maybe that's not.
It is what it is. They don't.
I got a friend they're a couple. He's been with his wife, maybe not his wife, not even his wife, his girlfriend. But they like husband and wife for maybe like maybe 15 years or something.
Yeah,
maybe 15 years or something. Bought property together, got kids together. So, but they both divorced. But they don't believe in getting married again. It was a traumatic experience after the first divorce. So it's just a case of each his own, man. They never felt it.
The breakup is what's the dramatic part. It's not the actual paperwork of the divorce.
Well, I don't know what the situation was in either one of the cases. I just know that it was divorce, and they don't want to.
Hey, you know what they say, man?
Both of them. They told me that. They told me that firsthand.
Hey, Jeff, check this out. If you can get the milk for free, why not just take the milk for free? Right?
To be honest with you, the only reason I got married, not that I don't love my wife, I love my wife dearly. She's the mother of my child, you know, all of that is because she wants to get married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, I mean, I love her enough to do that, you know, and start that life with her.
Man, sacrifices. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice.
It's that sacrifice I talked about earlier.
It's not that I didn't want to, but
You gotta get up something to get something.
Come easy.
Give it to
It's like a shotgun.
Somebody didn't. That's what I'm saying.
It's a shotgun
I
marriage.
tell you what.
It's a shotgun marriage.
So basically, you answered his question. You answered his question without even understanding. He said one of the two don't value something. So you value what she wanted.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, but you know.
To the fullest, you got married.
Yeah. Because let's think about it. Let's think about it, man. Check this out. If you look at the music video, the influence that we have in the world right now, if you look at it now, you can see that they don't even, the rappers, even the entertainers are not even getting married. They just being together, man. And you know,
They hopping around.
they're hopping around. So if I'm young, I'm not going to sell nails.
Maybe because they not thinking, hey, I'm a celebrity. I'm going to hop around and see what I'm going to get married.
Yeah, what should I get married if
That's
Like,
like
anyway.
that's like anyway, man.
Because I don't really like you like that.
or I'm in it for the bag. I'm in it for the bag, right? He got a bag.
I'll get a new model next week. I said, or I'll get a new model next week. They not like that. New actress.
So is that a big influence on the young people? So the reason why they don't want to get married?
Yeah, because it's appealing. That's
Yeah.
what they
Well,
want.
absolutely.
I think what they
You gotta realize
It's appealing to switch.
the world has changed, man.
It is.
Wait till you see it, man.
It's
Wait,
at
I like doing
it's
this.
at the palm of your hand now, Tom.
They don't see what we see. They don't,
So
we look at it now.
So it's appealing to have different girlfriends.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
Right.
See,
Appealing to
what's good about it?
a lot of people.
girls get real bite too, huh?
Yo,
They
it
want to
ain't going one way.
They want to be one of your girls.
I think it's more about money, man.
I see
I
that.
see all these
That's what's going on, really.
They want to make
in
it
my
mistake.
$1 million.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of money. Yeah, 50 million. Yeah, that's true. You know, they seen their father had to give up 2 houses in an apartment building or half the bank account, and it just doesn't. It's not appealing to kids right now.
Look at Bill Gates.
Can I
What
say
was that marriage like? You got to pay 200 something. What was it? Crazy? Something crazy. 200 something.
It goes both ways, man. And female, they're giving up. So one.
What you gonna say?
the community? What about the community that you live in? We see in the community, just like your kids see and everybody else, the homeless population now is at so high of a rate, and they see that. What words of encouragement could you give your kids?
Get off your ass. Don't do that.
To point out.
Okay, that's the same subject we wanted to talk to.
No, I don't want to get off subject, but it's a part of the process.
We wanted to talk about mental health too, so we dealt with this marriage thing.
A lot of that is mental health.
It is mental health. Just sleep on that concrete.
No facilities.
Just sleep on that concrete.
For the sick. Right.
And know that it's a place that'll let you in to sleep there.
Right. But there's people
who can be stone cold sober.
It's people who
That's
really need
what
help.
it
It ain't enough facilities.
It ain't enough facilities to help them.
Because what do? They will them out and put them on the street. And that's why you see them on
Those kind of people, you can't help them. You can only assist them. So that means that they got to do half the work.
Ultimately,
how do we get them to do it? Oh, no, you got to do it for
if it's not your
yourself.
mental health, if it's not your mental health, it's a decision from those people. Whether they're abusing drugs or they have some type of mental instability that's not allowing them to say, "Hey, I need shelter tonight."
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
And I get it.
It's a crazy issue.
society.
It is a crazy.
Look, man, that could be me, you, and anybody else, and I get that and I understand that.
I don't agree. I don't agree with
Well,
that.
I'm saying,
I don't agree with that.
we all could fall at some point in our life, and
How
did I get homeless like
me
this?
personally,
I don't know. It happened out of nowhere.
I don't think
I never lived like that
personally.
my whole life.
Now, I could be down and
It
out.
can happen. So I look at it like
I could be
this.
down and out.
As sure as you can be here, if that's your status, that's how you see yourself.
Down and out, you
here.
ain't got no backing, no support.
No, right. But eventually,
No.
I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. I can lose my house tomorrow.
Yeah,
But I'm saying to stay in that mentality, to stay in that, not even that mentality, just that state.
It can be
I don't think it
temporary.
would happen to me.
It could be
Unless
temporary.
I had some type of mental
I
instability
help myself get
or a
out.
drug dependency.
But it happened.
See what I'm saying?
So that's why I say you can't.
No, anybody
gotta look
can
at
fall off, but I disagree with the whole
But
I
with
can
falling
be
off-
homeless too. You
Well,
know,
falling off,
like
that's
you
what I'm
know,
saying, like,
temporary.
you don't just fall like that. It's a support
Saying
team.
if something happens.
There's
Something
something
that-
that's
that
trying to
inspired.
help you, and you,
Right.
But it happened.
you end up not going to help, or either they tired of helping your ass, one of the two, you know, like one of the two, is like, okay, you don't want no help, you don't want help, you just want to be out here like that. Or they offer you help, they ain't going there and do the bullshit that got you put out there in the first place for, and now you got to get your ass back out.
Well, what I want is a lot of them.
Whatever, you know.
If they can't continue to do what they do on a daily basis, like going to a shelter because you got a curfew, you know, you can't
Or take a bath.
doing certain things.
I'll take a bath, bro.
They don't want to do that because they want to continue the bad lifestyle that they.
But that's mental health.
You know, it's true, and it should be programmed. I feel like this. You shouldn't just release them to the streets. It should be programs. You got to put these people in, so that way they can get the help.
But that's their
that
personal
they
choice
need.
if they want to not bathe.
Sometimes their
And
mindset ain't right, man. They might want to do good, but just
And
ain't
those
thinking good.
are the people that go into the long-term facilities and get the assistance.
And get
If
them
they reach out and ask for
Get
help.
them in those facilities. That's
There's
all.
also a large part of the population that can get in there and say, you know what, I ain't doing that shit. Ain't no dope in there.
Yeah.
Ain't no alcohol in there.
There's nobody telling me I can't sleep.
Exactly.
I gotta get up.
Exactly.
I
Fuck
ain't
that.
selling no
And
candy.
you gotta realize
And-
that's a lot of the large part of that. I don't need no fucking job. Fuck
And
that.
they grown. They don't have to
Yeah.
abide by the bullshit.
So
The way they see it.
it really depends on the person and their mind state and their mental stability, in my opinion, to
So how do we make them mentally stronger? How do we make them mentally stronger?
It's not about making them mentally stronger because it's not always an issue of depression. You know, I'm
I
talking
didn't say
about.
that. We talk about mentally strong, mentally weak.
No. But it depends on what mental illness they're suffering.
Sometimes it's a choice.
You know what
That's
I'm
what
saying?
you're
Yeah, I'm saying overall,
It's not there.
and most of the
A lot of
time,
them.
the bigger population is a choice. Whether
They
they're
know what
using
they
drugs,
do. They know
or
what
they actually have a psychiatric diagnosis. If they're bipolar, if they have schizophrenia, if they're
A
suffering
lot of them
depression,
don't want to go to a facility
PTSD. There's
that's going to stop their daily activity.
You know,
And that's
old
bottom line.
soldiers. You know,
You can't
they're
stay out.
homeless.
You can't do drugs.
It's a real
You got to
issue.
be clean. You got to be looking for a job.
You know.
That kills them right there.
Yeah.
They
already
they,
hooked.
they hurry up and
They got
turn
hooked.
around.
They already hooked.
I think there should be more
Once the hook's in
investment into mental facilities and drug rehabilitation in these prison systems.
That's the main thing they send your ass to.
You know?
Anything, a drug
Yeah.
situation.
They good to send you off to prison. Yeah.
It ain't no rehab. Ain't no none of that.
It ain't.
So,
That's something that needs to be changed. You know, because
And other countries have
this
that.
population is just
I
growing.
agree with that.
You know, that population is just growing. Where they're
Especially they the one that put it out there with the pharmaceutical, with that opioid thing. That's gonna be a generation of people. They ain't gonna never get off of that. It's gonna be a whole generation just stuck on opioids, just strung out. They gonna, you know.
That's another thing that's wrong with the kids because now we got before we had a generation of what we would call crack babies. Now then it became first it was alcohol syndrome type children. Then it was crack babies, and then Molly's. Now we got lean babies. You know, now we have. I mean, this drug of methamphetamine babies, man. And really, all these drugs are affecting the children. And we see they look normal on the outside, but they're not doing all their mental health and the things that they're being raised and watching and their genetical makeup is what's really
Yeah, and that's another thing about you saying like the no remorse and so forth and so on, because we have these 20-year-old, 25-year-old, they coming straight from the crack era, dude. And like Emmitt said, physically you can't see, they don't look like they was no, but they mama and daddy was dealing and dabbling. You don't know what portion of that genetic code got messed up.
They can't put their thoughts and their behaviors together, nor their emotions.
Right.
So you got their thoughts, their emotions, and their behaviors that they're all tied together. But we can get them to think about their thoughts that tie their emotions, which would create a new behavior. We can get some things that maybe they can think about some things before they do it.
So
that
with no impulse.
So again, then, where's the correction in your home? A personal issue. I know a lot of things.
Well,
a lot of other people have issues with their family and their family members and things like that. But the correction in your house, how do you correct something?
What Emmitt just said, though, if you take a kid that grew up in that environment from that DNA makeup, what do you think the parents is doing right now still to this day? They trying to change it around too much unless they might be on the 20-year party and gone, but other than
you
that,
gotta have some type of
your parents was cracked out in the 20s and the 30s and stuff. You might be the 1% that can get out of that, but you might be the 1% that can get out. But when you go back home, bro, it might not be the nicest place.
Anybody got it?
I experienced that.
Granny taking it to the ground still. Granny slanging weed, mom's a crackhead in the back room.
It's a cold.
It's rough.
It's a cold life. It's a cold world.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
You try to make the best out of a bad situation.
So when we get back to our beginning, talking about the value, the kids' value, we went over a lot of different topics,
Scenarios, right?
Of how why kids are devaluing things. So we as adults have to start now bringing that value back to things, giving a higher example. Not just the shiny cars and the big wheels, but we got to give character.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's some examples? Let's say some examples of some value system.
To teach them what compassion means.
Right.
Compassion. We have to teach them what patience means. I mean, all these things, all these character traits that we have, but we know impulsivity because we just do it on the whim.
And specifically, you know what compassion is to you?
Compassion. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I asked. Because we ran over the word, but do people even know what the word really means?
Yeah, what does it mean? I mean,
Do you use that? Do you use compassionate person?
sometimes, some issues, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Don't let them mess up their credit. Credit is everything.
Understood.
You don't know? Credit is everything. Please don't mess your credit up. Please, pay for it.
It's a struggle.
Say that.
You a compassionate person?
I'm gonna go with him to say to a certain extent. I noticed that I've had to be more compassionate when it comes to my wife. Think of things from a woman's perspective. And not just going so hard at certain aspects, or just even at her when we argue. You have to show some level of compassion. Understanding.
You show compassion.
I knew he was going to swing it my way.
Yeah.
In a way, I show compassion. You can say that.
What kind of way is that?
What the situation is.
What kind?
I feel it's just
What's the situation that you would use compassion in?
on something you write about. If it's me and my lady, you write about it, and I show no compassion to it. But if you just damn wrong, I ain't show shit to it.
But if you find,
Compassionate to somebody else.
Huh? I missed the whole question, but I went back.
what does compassion mean to you?
Compassion means at least caring about what the other person
There you go. Gotta care.
And being able to put yourself in that position.
Just caring. compassion is caring.
It's scary.
Exactly.
It's scary.
You can sum it up. So you don't want
And you gotta show that. Show that you do.
What about you, bro?
But everybody shows compassion differently.
I'm compassionate, trust me, man. I'm compassionate. But I'll say this too. Sometimes I stand
call you
firm
compassionate
on
wrong?
certain subjects. Jay will stand firm on it, but that's not to say I don't try to talk about to come to an understanding about it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just be one-sided. But come on, let's be all realistic here, fellas. We all feel a certain way on certain subjects at certain times, too, right? And you know, okay, we can beg to differ against the two on who's right and who's wrong, but is there a right or wrong? There's a expression you express.
Okay, but you can have an opinion and an expression, but you can still express compassion.
I definitely have, okay, maybe I should say it like this.
Right.
I definitely have compassion. 100%.
Like I said, I'm just simply take this and put it out there.
100%. I got feelings, I feel.
I may not agree with it, but I understand what
Right.
you're going through.
Sometimes I'll let some things go for the better good. Meaning, I agree to a certain extent, but I don't have to show that other 10% of them you not agreeing. Just sometimes just let it go. Just go back to saying, who's being hurt?
No one's measuring how much you care. They're just saying, do you? That's all compassion.
That's
man.
all compassion.
Like,
And then I would explain to my mate or whoever, my kid, why I care. Listen, you my son, you my daughter, you my wife. Yes, I care. I care about our relationship we have with each other.
But you show up by actions, but not by words, because you can care.
I ain't perfect.
No, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying, you got some people, like my mother was more of an action person. She didn't really use her words. Her words
Knock your ass out.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's more of a word. She's more of an action person than a word person. Because you can be, I show compassion by action, not by words. I don't want to say you don't dream. I just want to say, this is what I'm giving you. If you accept this, if you don't, then I understand it. But I'll show you by action. Yeah. You probably show it a lot of different ways. But that's one way that you express it. Yeah, one way I express it, yeah. I'm sure.
I know Rome is a very compassionate person because he loves to cook for people. Cooking is a compassionate
but it's
expression
from action
of love.
too.
That's his expression of love. I always say that.
When you want to feed the tribe,
You cannot be a mean, evil person and cook good for people and care about them eating that shit.
I just like to
And watching them eat your shit. You don't see me.
and actually see who they
You
really
see
like.
compassionate
You know?
people.
And I'm open for
That's compassionate gesture
kickback.
right there.
Man, it's okay when you cook this. Okay, shit, give me that feedback. I know you can do that, sorry.
Right.
For your taste.
You show compassion in that. You care about your food and how it's presented. I watch you. You don't even like people swapping no food on your plate. Nah. Sit down. No. He eat with his eyes. He eat with his smell. He say all that. He like the way it looks.
Yes, sir.
He didn't like the way it looks. They didn't show no
Yes,
love.
sir.
They didn't show no love when they put the plate.
This would be the type of form if you had kids from 20 to 29, how would they define this word? We define this word, I'm 53, compassion.
To somebody younger, oh my goodness. They gonna Google that. They gonna Google that.
They just got different views.
They gonna Google that shit now. My compassion is
When your kid walk out that front door, that's just as well as me and you. They exposed to, you and me are exposed to all the elements of the world. Now it's how we go about handling ourselves while we encounter all these elements of the world. You know what I'm saying? Hell, you know how it is. Shit. You can be, excuse my language, but you can be with a certain person that do certain things and be heavily influenced, and next thing you know, you got caught up in doing that thing. And that's where it comes with your spiritual structure at the house. Look, you can teach and preach all you want to your kids.
Don't mean they're gonna follow.
They're gonna make their own decisions for themselves when they're not around you and they're out here in the real world. So you would hope that whatever you talk to them about or whatever you talk to them over the years that they've been growing up, that they would take that in and hopefully that it works and helps and they don't make a bad decision. I ain't saying we all make great decisions, but just
we all gonna make bad decisions.
Don't make us. Not one that hurts you.
We all make bad decisions.
Don't make a bad decision that really hurts you.
We've all made bad decisions.
And we do. But that's why you talk to your kids and try to make sure that
my mom
don't do it.
My mom decided want to hear how it was. Did they razzle dazzle your ass or was it some basic ass shit? Did you razzle dazzle? Did they razzle dazzle? Did they wrap that shit up real good? I think you just fall for the old dumb shit.
Bad words, yeah.
They razzle dazzle your ass. Got your ass, you know? Not the old TV in the box trick again.
And I got God like that. I just caught on to what you said. Right? TV in the box. It ain't rocks. It ain't rocks in the box. Perfectly weighed, too. Perfectly weighed out like it was a TV. And I mean styrofoam there that stuck the rocks together. They didn't shake. They didn't do none of that. It seemed like I got what I was like.
No razzle dazzle. Same old song. Well, I think we covered up some good information talking about what values are in the family.
I think we did too. I mean, it's just we have a good panel here that basically went over from their opinion, and we got to value everybody's opinion, and that's something that we have to really put into something that's a little bit more.
And I'd like to even expand on what he said, black men panel. Because you know what? This black man panel is probably, if they did a white man panel, everything's gonna be different, bro.
It's gonna come out real weird.
It's gonna come out real different. Like, what? No father.
Something we don't understand.
You ain't no father. You don't need a father, you never met your dad. Yeah, that's number one right there.
And I'll be the first to say, I'm perfect. I have my flaws and everything. Life ain't never been, the way you wanted it to be, and issues in your life ain't what you have wanted it to be, but it happens, and it's just how you approach it when it happens, and how you handle that situation when it happens. So, to anybody looking and listening, yes, hey, look, I ain't perfect by no means. I get it. I understand. We all have issues. We all have subjects in our life that we probably ain't fully answered to, maybe so, and maybe not. But at the end of the day, I look at it for me. I hope I did the best I could do with what I have been working with myself and family.
Do you always try to do the best?
As much as possible.
As much as possible.
And I'm gonna say this. Let me elaborate on that. I'll say this. As I got older, I got better. In my younger days,
do you try to do your best in everything?
Yes. Okay. Yes. But I have to say, because I have to say, because I know how I was when I was younger.
Yes,
I didn't act like this. I didn't talk like this. I didn't try like y'all have this conversation like that.
We're not talking about wrong. And so in the morning, do you try to give everything?
You ain't 20 years old, you know what I'm saying?
Because it could be somebody where I say, I get it. I know. That's what I'm saying.
When you wake up in the morning, do you try to do everything your best? You try to do everything your best. All the time. Every effort your best. I think that's value also.
It is.
You did the best you can do.
Not the best you can do. You tried to do the best.
You try to do the best you can do.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Yeah.
But you tried it. So you can't fall short. When you can't fall short when you knew that's what you tried for. You can always fall short when you really didn't do your best or try to do your best. And then you can say, damn, I could have did better than that. And I know you had some gas in the tank and you didn't go all.
I think we all can
go balls deep.
We can look at life and say, I could have did probably that a little better, and that too a little better. Unfortunately, I didn't, but I'm talking about it now. So
that's
if
a
there's any
value.
consolation,
That's a value right there.
If there's any consolation for that, then
now it's each one teach one.
absolutely.
Now we back and
Absolutely.
teach the next.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And value.
Each one teach one.
That's right.
It's ain't precious.
I think we we had a good conversation.
I think so.
Covered a lot of areas. But for the most part,